We had to get PG in. They come, we sit down. The mayor was here. He was outside with us too. Now we here. Now we in front. Now, this is the part where you pitch for the sponsorship. Quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to get $3 million to start up a project for the betterment of myself, of course. Don't feel I'm not going to embrace you about your stupid intro because the mayor here.
Run
through it out intro, please.
Rebel Rango.
Run. Yeah, this was the hill that Columbus saw when he reached on the boat, right? When he came down on the Sea Champion.
Rebel,
the South boat, of course, because we had a bigger volley boats in South.
Rebel. It was in South. That's so.
You realize he said a cold Karen, not a cold Smirnoff, eh?
I love cold carrot.
And to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, San Fernando, we need money. Send money, please.
Send money. To
Please send money.
This is a call.
This
Send
is a
money.
call. How could you ban vending? First and foremost, you can't ban.
Because it's already illegal.
Right. And not that. You can't ban vending. Right? That's the first thing.
Also, the city ban is the ban to be in for coming Juve. The 22nd of November, Rebel Nation is a part of it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the
with all due respect is worship. Run.
Central
Don't feel I'm not going to embrace you about your
Podcast.
stupid intro
It
because
is
the mayor
me.
here.
Run the
Run
podcast
through it
down.
out intro, please.
Rebel Rango.
Run.
We on the promenade in front of City Hall with the mayor.
Oh, let's stop
of
giving
San
this man
Fernando.
Smirnoff for me, please.
You feel me? So, we here. Rebel. How you feeling? We in City month. It's November.
I'm feeling city-ish.
Me too.
Wait, I find that sound a little weird now.
City-ish.
I find that sound a little weird now.
That's not a word.
I take it back. I ain't really like how I come out now.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's one thing. Mayor, I tax you this one.
What's happening?
We turn City Week
Yes.
to City Month.
Yes.
Somebody wake up and say, nah, the full 7 is not enough. Sando deserve the full 30.
Right.
What inspired that decision?
So again, all based on our tourism thrust and an opportunity to stimulate the microeconomy of San Fernando. So 7 days isn't enough. So we give everyone benefits from City Month, from the
Right.
taxis to the hotels to the vendors. Everyone benefits. So through the different events, right? You have different persons who have different events, and they pay us to advertise on our social media platform and on our calendar as well. So not all of the events are based in the city corporation. There are also private events as well.
Right.
And we handle the promotion aspect as well.
Okay. What are some of those private events that the public could attend?
Of course.
Okay,
Of course.
like what?
I know tonight is one night with Avian. That will certainly be something that is a spectacle. And there's a number of others. Don't ask me, my memory isn't as good as it used
One
to
night
be.
with Avian. That's the name of the event?
Yes.
One night with
One
Avian.
night with Avian. You're thinking, you know
I see the calendar.
One night with Avian. That sounds like an event I would go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not like an event.
Yeah.
Okay, so question. People might think City Month is just event,
Right.
but what does it actually mean? Like, what is the soul of City Month? Just the events.
So, really and truly, it is a culmination of celebrating the history of San Fernando. This year, we celebrate 37 years as a city. And we trying our best to get all San Fernandians together. At least they know the month of November is City Month, and it's something that we are very prideful about.
Right.
And we can all celebrate the uniqueness of us as San Fernandians, right? I always say that I celebrate two colors, not two colors, two sets of flags. Red, white, and black, which is our nationality, and blue and yellow, which is I have San Fernandian pride. Yes.
You see, Rango?
So you would say that car probably start in San Fernando then?
I
Seeing that
think
it's
so,
blue and yellow.
I really think so, Seeing that they are one of our main sponsors
Yeah.
for City Month, somehow I feel it had to be some type of synergy with Carib and San Fernando.
And realize it's a Carib and not a Smirnoff.
A cold Carib right now would be good.
I could Smirnoff would be.
A cold Carib. A cold Carib.
Smirnoff. It's the same company Carib that's bringing Smirnoff too.
Yes.
But it's not the same drink though.
True. I just prefer that drink.
So what you're trying to tell me is, if we have a brand like Dolce & Gabbana, you're trying to say just because it's about dress and a man t-shirt, because it's one brand, you could wear anyone. That's what you telling me.
It is not. The same don't apply, Rango. It's a dress versus family like a suit.
Which one is the suit?
Anyway, next question.
So, what impact do you hope City Month has on the young San Fernandians, the next generation coming up?
So, incidentally, the theme for San Fernando City Month is Generation Next
Mm.
and Sando Live Right. And we got that from the young people. So certainly I will not be the mayor of San Fernando forever. And really and truly, I have encouraged the young people to start to do things out of the box, start to question your leaders and the leadership of the country. And there are different forms of leaders. There are persons in church who are leaders, even leaders within your home.
Right.
I can tell you that my first stint in leadership really started at home when
Right.
I asked my mother, Mommy, why? And she ran me into the room and I locked the door because I was trying to prevent myself from getting reprimanded.
Getting out to Jackson special. Right?
Facts.
But she took the hinges off the door. and that incident did occur. But no, but I always remember that incident. And you know, the thing is, young people need to ask more questions, right? I think that my generation is the last generation where it is that we did what we were told, and just because we were told. But I think intelligent people ask questions, and asking questions to our leaders is something that I would encourage, right? And the young people really want us to live right. We partner with the UN on most of our projects, right? I have an event for World Children's Day in the Parliament with the UN, where it is I will speak on what they have done in the city of San Fernando. So we did a photography class over the August vacation with the young persons, and it was really amazing. And based on that, we asked them certain questions, and that is why it is that we celebrate Generation Next, Sando Live Right.
And that's very good to do photography. Everybody have a phone now, so you can transfer
Right.
these skills across,
Yeah.
help build your socials and thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of work does actually go into preparing. There's a whole month of events, right?
Yes, it's a lot
Right.
of work.
So what is some of the things that has happened behind the scenes that most people would not expect?
A lot of cursing and quarreling, not on my
It's
part.
Trinidadian too.
Because I was going to say,
It's Trinidadian.
I didn't know that politicians curse now, boy.
You think not?
We parliament, let's be kind of
You think not?
Or is this kind of censored on camera?
Well, you know, every time that I curse, you say beep, beep,
Right,
beep.
yeah.
So that more or less
How they get our
takes
censor?
care of that, yeah.
We had to pay for that on
Yeah,
Premiere Pro
yeah.
as well.
Unfortunately, our final cut description does not have those
Subscribe.
effects with it. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Rebel accent.
Why your paper pink though?
Because this is what you had in the office.
I never give you that paper.
Yes, that is exactly.
Why
what
you
it
try to blame me for your queerness?
Oh my God.
Why is do that?
Boy? Oh, you stop where stupidness, huh?
Okay, so we saw how the history of San Fernando shape based on the stops that we make
Right.
today, right? So how important would you say is preserving the heritage and the history and the culture of San Fernando for the younger generation to even come and be able to appreciate like what we're doing in City Month right here?
It's very important. Again, right? Everything ties into economics, right? And based on our 7 pillars of development, as I stated before, tourism, culture, sports, arts, and education. San Fernando is renowned for those things. And the young people ought to get involved, because at the end of the day, we are the leaders of today, but they are really the leaders of tomorrow. And if they really want to shape culture and develop minds, they have to get involved in some aspect. Some of the young people from Presentation College asked me yesterday, Mayor, how was it to become a mayor? What did you do? And I simply told them, there's no real formula in becoming a mayor. You know, I started as a community activist. My entire life, I've been a part of civil society. I was a scout, right? And I just thought to do things differently and give back. So seeing the people that are around me and seeing that they were doing that, that is where it is my political career started. I said to them, you don't even have to think about being in the youth arm of any one of the political parties yet. Because obviously that is the avenue in. But give back to your community, do something positive so that you build yourself. And then when you build yourself, you understand some of the needs of society. In other words, you do kind of like a SWOT analysis of where it is that we have our strengths and our weaknesses, and see where it is that you can fit in to try to make a difference in society.
Where you could add an impact.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, so before we sign, well, no, already we cannot sign off. We are inside a city hall.
Of course.
But do you have a message for San Fernando for the people to come to City Month to let them know what, hey, what event you interested in the most in attending in City Month?
So City Month is vibes. You will love our Juve. San Fernando boasts of the best Juve, right? And our Juve on the 22nd is really something that you should be at. Also, our pan and powder on the same day. So imagine that. And that day is going to be called Carib Day in the city of San Fernando. Right?
Carib Day?
Yeah, Carib Day.
So they just forget about the Arawaks.
Free Carib?
Not the Arawaks. The Carib to drink.
Right.
So therefore, you know there will be drink specials on Carib, right? As we celebrate our 37th year as a city. So I know a lot of persons are very eager to let out their stress and to enjoy in the revelry in San Fernando. But I'm also pleased as the mayor of San Fernando, within the next couple of days, what we're going to do on this Harris Promenade that has been freshly renovated and painted is that I am going to reveal the artwork of Mr. Russell Bansfield, who is a renowned San Fernandan painter who basically is famous for painting the very Harris Promenade that we're on in different eras. So you have his paintings from the 1930s, you have his paintings from the 1960s and the 1980s, and I have commissioned 4 of his paintings, and we're going to print them on a large scale, and we're going to put them on the walls of Harris Promenade. I told the young men from Presentation College, a wall is just a wall, but when you put art on it, it becomes a masterpiece, right? And it adds value to the real estate as well. And hopefully it can change the thoughts and the mindset of people. Whilst I take this opportunity, on this promenade, I want to take the opportunity not just to thank you, but to also remind persons it is illegal to feed the homeless on the promenade. We do have signs up on the promenade. There's a bylaw commissioned by the council that was done in 2016 under Mayor Hussein and Mayor Regrello. And what we're seeing is we have a proliferation of migrant homeless population in San Fernando. It's ballooned to over 200 persons on the streets, and they congregate to Harris Promenade. And the reason why they congregate here is because they're fed 8 times a day.
8 times a day?
8 times
that is
a day.
more than I eat.
I'm better than me.
Best I come line on the promenade too.
No, Rango.
So they're fed 8 times a day. But what we do have in San Fernando is we have the Home for the Socially Displaced on the wharf, and we also have Court Shamrock on Rushford Street Extension. And we ask persons, I mean, we're really trying to do all our best to live right, which is the theme of San Fernando City Month. Live right. And the only way we live right is we live together and we obey the law.
True.
Obey the law.
The law there for a reason.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So we on the promenade. Me, Rev Rango. We on to the
This is the
next
first
location.
time Ron has been on the promenade, I must say.
This is not the first.
This is a very memorial moment for him right now.
Lord.
Welcome.
Thank you. You know, before we go, I do like the fact that you're bringing on those paintings onto the promenade because
Yes.
the show.
I just got a call just
Where-
a few seconds ago saying that the paintings were ready.
Ready.
So I can't wait to see.
So if I do a painting too, I'll put it on the promenade as well.
Are you an artist?
I am an artist.
Not with an E. Yes, with a T.
I believe that I have a lot of creative insight.
Okay, well.
I don't think that's how it does work, Kanga. I don't think that's how it does work.
So they don't want my painting then.
You could come and see how.
Well, let me see your portfolio first. You're doing an interview.
You have no portfolio. But you do get to see how San Fernando was versus how
Yes.
it is today. And that's good for the history, for the people who walk
And
in
good
the
for
street.
the young people.
Exactly, because
Yes.
you know where you come from.
Yes.
Right. All right, and we here at a new location on site. Me, run the podcast on Rebel Rango, and we here with the mayor of San Fernando, you know, city month going on. Rebel, you say you had a question earlier.
Yeah, this was the hill that Columbus saw when he reached on the boat, right? When he came down on On the sea champion.
Rebel,
The south boat, of course, because we had a bigger volley boats in south.
Rebel. It was in south. That's so.
But this is south, so this is not south.
This is south, but that hill so.
I see in 3 peaks on San Fernando Hill. This one here, and the one that hiding in the corner, right? So you're saying that this is not the hill that Columbus saw when he reached.
This is not the. Look, the mayor here. He could answer it for you.
And this was the hill that Columbus.
No. That is not. This is not the hill, but it has as much significance to the prominence of Trinidad and Tobago, moreover to the people of San Fernando. Yes.
Oh,
true.
Okay, so who saw it? Columbus Brethren then.
Yeah, it must be Columbus. Brethren see it. Yeah, I feel so.
Columbro.
Columbro.
Right.
Columbro. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Have you ever, as you're the mayor, you ever climbed this hill on foot?
Yeah, I did. I was about, but before it had the roads and everything, I was about maybe 9 years old. I was a scout for Boys RC, and we back then we used to climb it with rope and different thing. All this infrastructure that's here, it didn't exist before.
Really?
No, it didn't. No.
So you climb this like by rope and hold
Yeah,
hike in the
yeah,
road.
like a real hike. Yeah, we did. None of this infrastructure, all these roads, all of that, it never existed. And we would have gone up to where the peak is right there, and we would have had lunch. Yeah.
So who put the roads in? Who put the roads in?
So from my understanding, my information, in the early 90s, there was a lobby by the business community in San Fernando because they saw the importance of tourism, and this been a natural landmark for there to be some development. And Miss Diane Sukaran, who was the head of the business chamber at that time, was one of the key persons to have this infrastructure to be done for the city of San Fernando. Okay. And obviously we know she became later on the member of parliament, and she's of the Sukaran blood, her father being Lionel Sukaran and her son being I ain't gonna say Johnny Sukaran, but Parris Alwari.
Right.
Yes.
So when they say the infrastructure, they would have come there, they cut the road,
yes,
put the building on the top,
all the infrastructure.
And when the defense come out, because I don't remember defense.
So these were paid laborers.
Yes, they were paid.
All right, just making sure.
Right.
You know?
So the defense, unfortunately, we had about 2 years ago, we had an unforeseen circumstance around Carnival where someone lost their life, and the occupational health and safety would have mandated us to fence up here. So the Ministry of Agriculture, they maintain here through the Forestry Division, and the Ministry of Agriculture would have been responsible for fencing. And at one point, persons were not allowed to the top, no events at the top until the fencing is done. So I was proud to see that. And I think it was last year, the San Fernando City Corporation would have entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Agriculture to operationalize the hill. So therefore, this asset is supposed to be handed over to the San Fernando City Corporation, and it's all a part of an opportunity for us to use tourism as one of our major sectors of development going forward.
So now you all could have like events and things going on.
Correct. We control at the bottom of the hill, but the entire hill, right, would once it is operationalized. I've been in constant contact with the new minister, reminding her that the San Fernando City Corporation signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Agriculture, and therefore I'm to meet the new Minister of Agriculture to see how best we move forward with that plan, because certainly it would resort into something very, very tangible in terms of, again, the tourism aspect of developing the city. Yeah.
So what plans you have for the future of San Fernando Hill as you have this approval now?
So we're looking at maybe restaurants. Right?
On the hill?
Yeah, on the hill.
On the hill? So you come and eat at a gyro? Or not that, or like more premium restaurants?
Well, I mean, you could say premium restaurants, right? Because, I mean, again, the ambience and tours. One of the things that we were doing in 2023 when I first became the mayor, we also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Tourism. So November, which is City Month, by the way, everyone hint. City Month also coincides with the beginning of the cruise ship season. Right? So the then minister, we were going to bring persons from the cruise ship on the water taxi to San Fernando and do tours. So for persons who are interested in getting into the touring people around San Fernando, obviously San Fernando Hill would be a spot for persons to come High Street, and we're doing different things to upgrade the promenade and different things like that for vending and all of that stuff to, you know, to enhance the aesthetics for persons to say, wow, this place is a really nice place. So those are the things that we're working with the business community. First and foremost, persons may think that the politicians have a great say, but we have a great say in terms of legislation. But the business community, right, they have a great say, a very great say in terms of how you engineer things to occur positively. And once you have the buy-in of the business community, then you shouldn't have any problems as a politician.
So do we have any events for City Month planned on this hill?
So unfortunately, we were waiting on you to do your event, but that fell through. But no, we don't have any events this year on City.
So you're not.
On the hill?
We go do an event on the hill for City Month.
We can do an event,
right? With the approval of the mayor himself.
All right, no problem.
All right, so I have a question for you. Now, as we choose this location, right, for you to really be
Beautiful
able
location,
to see
yeah.
all the whole spread of South, right?
Yep.
Well, and some. So as the mayor, you're
Yes.
looking out at this spread and you're seeing all your countrymen, all the houses and the businesses that they just talk about.
Yeah.
What does this view, you being the mayor, what does this mean to you when you watch out and see the vastness of Trinidad and the Southlands?
So certainly it evokes in my heart a sense of pride. I being the longest serving politician in local government and otherwise right now in San Fernando, right? 15 years I've served the community of Pleasantville, and I'm the longest serving member of council. When I look out at this beautiful cityscape here, I see Point-a-Pierre Refinery, right? Which I mean, for the people of Marabella, that was their lifeline.
Yep.
And hopefully that something can be done to restore that lifeline. I look out at the Monrepo area, Monrepo being one of the first settlements in San Fernando. We look out at Pleasantville being the second oldest housing development in the country, right? So I look at San Fernando and I realize how important my task is in terms of my ability to represent the city and its citizens, right? And I don't take that responsibility lightly. If anyone knows me, I am very meticulous in everything that I do, right? Rebel would know I'm an artist. Politics is not my profession. I am an accomplished artist, and I see things that persons don't see. Artists are gifted with the ability, the talent to see the final outcome, while things are being done, they can't see the beauty in certain things, and that's a gift God gave me. And I see San Fernando as an open canvas. I love my city, and I hope that all San Fernandians could feel the way that I do, especially after my tenure is up as the mayor of San Fernando.
Okay, so being both and correct me if I'm wrong, the councillor for Pleasantville, as well as the mayor for San Fernando.
That's right.
Is it difficult being as meticulous as you are with the amount of responsibilities for the tasks that you have? Is it difficult dealing with both of them at the same time?
Balancing both.
Yes.
It is. We haven't had a councillor who's a mayor in quite some time. The last was Navi Miradali. He was one of my mayors. But the demands of the people of Pleasantville is unlike any other place. Pleasantville, again, is the second oldest housing development in Trinidad and Tobago. And for persons who understand the political history of San Fernando, they know the importance of Pleasantville. So the people in Pleasantville demand more than any other part of San Fernando. And it is a responsibility that I have taken upon myself. I've done my best. I have relationships with almost everyone in my community. I've seen a generation, 15 years is a generation, so you've seen people grow up.
Old and young.
So yes, and people leave us and different things like that. So I have an affinity for my community. And there will always be a priority, no matter if I'm the mayor of San Fernando. So what I'm doing as an artist is exactly what I did in that community to engender rejuvenation of that community. I inspired artists to do murals on the walls in Pleasantville, community beautification, all of these different things.
Oh, that when you're driving by the lights you see.
That's right.
That was you.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
I
thank
did
you
that
for
stuff.
that.
Oh,
That
you
was
paint that
good.
yourself?
No, I didn't paint it myself.
Oh.
What I did was,
So I could come and paint some on the wall too then.
well, I mean, if you're an artist, yes, no problem.
I get approval, or I could just come with my bucket of paint and just start a splash.
Are you an artist?
I mean, technically, I'm an artist.
But not an
maybe not any aspect with the paintbrush, but I'm an artist. You understand? So maybe I
Not
could
an
come.
artist, an artist.
Right. Oh, he makes a difference. He past tense.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
I understand.
Yes, so I would have done the murals. We did community gardens in Pleasantville. Obviously, that was done again to deal with the food prices within the community.
Right.
So what happens is that the persons come out, they plant the food, and then we sell it back to the grocers at a lower wholesale price. So therefore, when it is retail, it saves money for the people's pockets. That's one of my pet projects, the Glen Jemmott community garden. Then all of the artwork that I would have done, because I mean, to be very honest with you, I'm telling you ask any artist, if I couldn't create, I would die, right? And politics is not an easy profession, right? I spoke to some young men from Presentation College yesterday, and I said, art is my profession, politics is my passion. And politics should never be your profession. Young people, always have your ability to fall back on your profession, right? And that makes you a well-rounded person. So in terms of it being difficult, it can be difficult at times because first and foremost, it's hard to keep a woman. You understand?
Oh boy, I don't think we should go into that topic now.
No, because it's a 24-hour job, and the person, whoever has the opportunity to be with me, has to understand the sacrifices that has to be made, right? So and that's just part of it, right? I've sacrificed certain things in my life for the success of the city of San Fernando. Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to be able, if in this moment, this mic that you're holding in your hand right now was transmitting to the entirety of San Fernando, and you could give them one message, what message would you give to your countrymen, your San Fernandians?
So, incidentally, the theme for City Month is Sando Live Right. That came...
I like that.
That came from young persons. So, Generation Next, Sando Live Right. We partnered with the UN, and we did a number of projects with the UN, which include, we did on the promenade, we did a UNESCO and the City Corporation, we did a virtual museum.
Right.
We also had a photography program for young persons over the August vacation, and they went around San Fernando taking pictures of how they see things through their eyes, right?
Ooh.
And one of the things that we ask the young people is, what do you want from your leaders? And they summed it up in 2 words: live right. And that is exactly what it is we want to inculcate with every citizen of the city of San Fernando. Just live right, right? I also stated how we party is not how we party is not how we vote, right? And I think, and I'm being very honest with you, San Fernando is one of the most diverse places in the country.
Yeah.
And I always say to my members of council, every time they try to emulate what is happening in the national parliament, I say, stop. This is not parliament. This is San Fernando. we don't get on like that. All of us play football together. All of us went to school together. It have no race. It have no creed. It have nothing like that here.
South is love.
Right? And South is love. Correct.
South is love.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so growing up on San Fernando Hill, here was the spot where you will see Lime going on, your school trips will come on, you'll come up here as a youth to Lime, you bring a bird up here. Where's some of your first memories coming up on San Fernando Hill that you can tell me?
I had a picnic with an ex-girlfriend here.
Oh gosh, let me hear about it.
Right on the top, right? A few years ago, I brought my daughter, and we were walking around, and she was asking me about different things, and I was showing her the beautiful cityscape, and obviously Manning Fete. Manning Fete used to be at the top of the hill.
Manning Fete?
Yes.
You didn't know Manning had a fete?
Patrick Manning, he had a fete. Well, I will say this much: the fete evolved. My father was the founder of the fete, when it was in Gopal Lands by his home, right? So Daddy and a few people, and then when we left Trinidad and we came back,
Right.
Mr. Manning asked Daddy to revive the fete. So the first year it was at the pool, St. Michael's pool, and thereafter I actually suggested, Daddy, why y'all just don't go up on the hill? And actually that is when the fete evolved on the hill. So that's how it's. I think I get bite from a bee.
Really?
Yeah. You edit that?
Yeah,
You take it out. You take it out.
Right. So so that's how the fete evolved.
Okay, so wait. Manning Fed, it does still have a party around there. Ever see yourself bringing it back? I would like to come a party on the hill.
So actually Manning Fete now is at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
Right. Obviously because of what occurred with the unfortunate circumstance with the tragedy that happened a number of years ago. So we tried it at the bottom of the hill and it was successful. Obviously there's a new Manning at the helm of San Fernando East, and it was successful. So last year, if that's a model for last year, this year could be a good,
a good turnout. Yeah, agreed. So okay, last one for you as we on the hill. Do you have a story of something say that might have happened on the hill that you like that is always invigorate your memory as you talk about the hill?
A story about the hill?
Yeah, something that happened to you on the hill.
Happened to me on the hill, boy.
You man now say come on a picnic. You want man talk about the ex?
Well,
That is bacchanal when man go home. Understand?
Well, what happened after the picnic is a memory.
Alright, we go continue. We don't want him here to get in trouble, right? We are law-abiding citizens.
So, we after another location change, we now come from San Fernando Hill.
Yeah.
We in Skinner Park. The new and improved Skinner Park.
right.
We're not just in Skinner Park. Right now, we in the mayor's box. Right now, we feeling like premium youth men here right now. Understand?
Exclusive.
We up in the mayor's box. I never even know it had a mayor's box, but I don't know.
Hey, how nice furniture at my house.
That is a fact. That is a fact. I just sleeping on a mattress on the ground. And
It's not
right now, I'm
true.
sitting down in fine cheerings.
Yes.
That's how I would look it up in the dictionary. It's there.
It is not a word.
It is. Cheerings is a word.
Okay, so we here with the mayor of San Fernando. If you miss so my first question I have for you, sir.
What's up?
The park, as you see, we in Skinner Park right now.
Yes.
But we in the new and improved.
Yes.
I used to come here as a child. My
Right.
dad used to bring me to see cycling all the time.
Right.
But the park was much different. You
Yes.
see that the dirt cycling and all
Yes.
that. So, what's one of like the biggest improvements that you would say happened to the park with
Right.
the recent renovation?
So the park has seated capacity of over 7,000 people, right? So we have all of the stands now are covered. Before it was uncovered, so all of the stands are covered, right? We also have we have three different floors. So we have at the bottom floor we have what you call Auditorium B, and also on the bottom floor it has the lobby to go into the locker rooms on the visiting team and the home team, and then they have a bathroom with ice tub for teams for physiotherapy, and then you come up on another floor. That's the mezzanine floor. The mezzanine floor has all of the offices. So if you have a club that wants to rent an office from the city corporation, it's there. Tuco actually has an office in the park as well. It makes sense because of Calypso Fiesta.
Right.
Right. So there's the club floor, and then you come up on the third floor, and the third floor is where all of the boxes are. So this is the mayor's box, and there are 7 boxes in all, right? And the other boxes are available for rent from corporate citizens, or if it is that there is a lime or something in here and you can afford to rent one of the boxes, it's affordable as well.
So do you think a man of my financial distress would be able to rent one of these boxes?
Yeah, we will talk, man. We'll talk.
Man.
We'll talk.
If you see our Rango's box, just know, yeah.
But certainly not seen our runs box.
All fits in Skinner Park.
7,000 people. That's rare. That's a good size of capacity of people energy.
The park is so modern now, right? We have the capacity to have more than one event at the same time, and we actually tested that out for the Independence Weekend, where it is that we had an event on the second class ground, and we had two events concurrently, and someone was having a wedding downstairs as well. So Caesar's Army did their independence in the paint in the back. There was a wedding downstairs, and there were two major events within. There was a party, and right after the party, they cleaned up, and then there was a pilgrimage, church pilgrimage. So we tested it out.
So all those events run concurrently, and they didn't disturb each other.
No.
Whoa.
That's how huge the park is now.
That's what I'm saying for Trinidad. You don't ever hear about that. Two, 4 parties going at the same time and nobody getting disturbed, no complaints. That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
Except for where I live, because nobody really living around there now. So if I throw a party, nobody really have no complaints now.
True. But we in Hatasando right now.
Yeah, we are
with
in
the mayor.
Yes.
So I have a question for you now.
What's up?
With the current renovations, if you had to see one event, an international event here, what event you would want to see? Like a CPL, some football, what event you want to see in
So we don't have the capacity to have international cricket, simply because the park is used by persons who play football, track and field. We have exercisers who walk and jog. We have those type of things. So certainly, if it is, I would want to see a major cycling. Obviously, I would see a major maybe track and field, right? There was some controversy with regard to the size of the field, right? But since then, we've had a number of semi-pro and pro league games in Skinner Park. So maybe we could have some exhibition games, right? I have had the Mayor's Cup 2 years concurrently running, and Mayor's Cup has been really successful, where we have semi-pro teams playing football. We also had this year, we introduced the secondary school aspect of the Mayor's Cup. St. Benedict's College won against Naparima. So, those are the things that I would like to see.
What does that intercall back in the day?
Yeah, well, back in the day, Skinner Park was the mecca of intercall.
Really?
Yeah, mecca of intercall. When I went to school, right? Everyone wanted to see the big clash, which was Presentation and St. Benedict's back then, right? In Skinner Park.
Right.
Naparima wasn't saying anything in the 80s, but it was Prayers and Benedict's.
They're probably still not really saying anything.
Well, they beat Benedict's the other day.
Oh, for real?
And they kind of make the standing very close now. Benedict's is still at the top. So let's see how the Premiership secondary school league ends up this year.
So from why, especially these stories, intercall and things used to be like this big line, man.
It used to be huge.
Really?
It used to be huge. And back then, you were able to run onto the field with your flag when it is that is score.
Oh, so you can't run on the field now?
No, they say can't. You have to sit down in the stands.
Is that security risk to run on the field now?
Well, maybe, but I guess we've become more civilized and more culture in terms of the way things were done. But back then, that was the flick. As a matter of fact, my good friend Marshall Montano, shout out to him. He has some memories. I remember Marshall, when Presentation used to play St. Benedict's, Marshall used to come and taunt the Benedict's boys in the stands. And there are a lot of stories behind, that rivalry between St. Benedict's College and Presentation College back then.
I like how very casually my good friend Marshall Montano. I want to reach that kind of level in life.
Yeah, I don't think Marshall want to meet Till Run. Sorry to say.
Why you had a crush, Magic? I want to meet Marshall.
Marshall is a cool guy.
Maybe you can meet.
You know much of Marshall? I crossed the stage to in my life. Until I shake the man hand once and tell him thank you.
I don't think Marshall really want to meet you like that now. Boy. Sorry to say. Sorry to bust your bubble.
No, that's okay.
Maybe you might meet like
he might watch
a second star or a pretty one of them.
I interviewed pretty already.
Well, I see. You still get to meet a super artist.
You see?
Just not Marshall now.
2 years ago, we gave Marshall the key to the city, and so we had the party downstairs and we had a party upstairs here in the Mayor's Box. So downstairs was, the I wouldn't say the general, and up here was in the VIP, because I'm not into that. Everyone was invited up here, so we had a kind of after party up here,
right?
And he really thanked us for what is, and he was in the heights of finishing his degree while he was doing it. So we were actually in one of the other boxes, and he was telling me he was doing it in carnival studies and all the things, and he said to me, Mia, I do a song about San Fernando. I said, boy, I wish you would bust it, right? But I'm still waiting on my song. Double M.
Marshall, we won this song.
Yeah, we want this song.
When we drop this reel, I want everybody to tell Marshall and say we won this San
We
Fernando
want
song.
this Sando
We want
song.
to cross the stage to that Sando song.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Marshall.
yeah.
That's what we're talking about. If you drop, we promise you crossing the stage to that song.
So do we have any events coming up for City Month in this location, Skinner's Park?
So certainly, so Carib is one of our big sponsors for the Juve and the Pan and Powder. So the paved area behind us, right? It's called the Skinner Park Paddock. We have a lot of smaller parties there. So we're going to brand that area with the Carib Cool Zone. We'll have trucks, water trucks there. We'll have active bar. So what happens is, so we're doing the traditional Juve route, which is Royal Road onto Coffee Street, onto Sapero Street. And if you are privileged to play Juve with the city band, you inclusive of your package, you're coming right into Skinner Park, right? So you come into Skinner Park and you're having an after party, right? But also we're not uptight. If you want to pay something at the door, you can also pay something at the door if it wasn't a part of the city band. And we'll have almost a similar experience with the Pan and Powder. So Pan and Powder last year, and I want to give a shout out to Ms. Beverly Ramsey Moore, the president of Pan Trinidad. She's my very good friend. Perhaps I would say that the promotion of the Pan in Trinidad and Tobago in the last couple of years, she should get a lot of credit for
You've
that.
already been seeing Pan on the forefront.
Yeah, and young persons have embraced it even more. And so we are the biggest Pan and Powder thus far, and we anticipate that San Fernando will continue in that tradition. So Port of Spain had theirs, Tobago had theirs, so we have to have the best one in San Fernando. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So we will have the Pan coming down Sapero Street, right? Everyone will be chipping, right? I believe Fontclair would be there, Skiffle Bunch will be there. No, rather Skiffle. It's not Skiffle Bunch anymore. Skiffle will be there, right?
Why did they take out the bunch though?
You have to ask the former mayor. I don't know.
Okay.
Right? And so there are other bands as well that will be there. It always starts with 3 stationary bands on the coffee, and then the bands start to roll, right? And coming down Sapero Street, and then there will be a band in the park as well to entertain everyone, right? And with Carib on board, I'm sure the alcohol will be flowing.
Yeah, Carib is definitely a good sponsor. That
don't mean you'll get smooth off though. That don't mean you'll get smooth off.
That mean I should get smooth off. My dad works Carib, by the way.
Yes.
He ever give you a smooth off?
No, yeah, no.
I wonder why.
Okay, I have a question for you because I heard something changed with regards to the carnival experience in San Fernando.
Right.
I heard that they changed the judging points to one judging point.
That was last year, yeah.
Right. What inspired that change?
So we've been trying our best to give a better product for San Fernando Carnival. And the first year that I was the mayor, the then convener of Carnival would have inspired us to try the wharf onto Lady Hills, onto Independence. And for me, the experience was good, but a lot of the revelers didn't like the experience. But so a lot of people said it was easier to come down the hill as opposed to going up the hill. And so therefore we reversed it to the original route. The original route last year, I mean, change is very hard for Trinidadians.
Very.
That should be a jersey that should make changes hard for Trini. But so therefore we reverted to the other the original route, and we kept the Sapa point as the major judging point, right? It's easier for us, 1, and 2, San Fernando, we don't really get as much money as Port of Spain gets in terms of running our carnival. They still consider us a region, and certainly there's something I've been lobbying for, and my predecessors would have been lobbying for, that San Fernando be treated better when it comes to the national purse. And that's why we've been pushing tourism, arts, culture, sports, and education. Those are the sectors that we've been pushing in San Fernando. And certainly we feel that we have a great Juve product. Our Juve is the best maybe maybe not maybe.
It
is the best.
Juve is the best.
It's the best in the country, right? And we feel that persons from abroad can come and play Juve in San Fernando and feel that experience. And whilst coming to play, don't just come and play. Stay in our hotels, stay in some of our Airbnbs, partake in Southern hospitality. You can go by ateliers by the park, and partake in some food. You could go by Sion's on the Cross, drink a cold Carib. You know, some more of the San Fernando historical places, walk on the promenade, because when I'm finished with the promenade in the next couple of days, it's certainly going to be transformed. And those are the experiences we want to be able to sell our San Fernando product.
You realize he said a cold Carib, not a cold Smirnoff, eh?
I love cold Carib.
And to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, San Fernando, we need money. Send money, please.
Send money to San
Please
Fernando.
send money.
This is a call.
This is a call. This is a call.
South is love, but we need money to express that love too.
Yes. Certainly. Yeah.
We had the pack,
Right.
new events coming up, especially with renovations. What is one of the biggest events that you say happen in the park thus far?
So I was a part of the current mayor of Port of Spain, right? We are actually related, right? So, and we actually share the same birthday, right? So he pulled me on, and we had Jamaican Artist Chronics. And that was in the old Skinner Park. And certainly that would have been to date perhaps one of the biggest concerts Skinner Park would have had. I think before that would have been the Jackson 5 in the 70s, right? But certainly Skinner Park has hosted some premium events.
Skinner Park had the Jackson 5?
Yeah, the Jackson 5. Yeah, Jackson 5 came in 1979.
Question. Joe Jackson was here?
Oh,
Yeah, he was here.
I believe Joe Jackson was at Trini. Right? I don't really feel like it was abuse. I just feel like he was at Trini, and that's why we accepted him and we let him in the country.
Yeah. I agree. Cut skin. I can't say what I want to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at Skinner Park with the mayor of San Fernando, me run podcast on, and Rango. We on to the next location. All right, and we at a new location, somewhere where I used to come all the time when it was back to school, you feel me?
Ron, you never used to come here. You from Claxton.
My father used to bring me High Street
Ron, you
to
never
shop.
come here.
When school come back, we had to get school clothes, school belt, school pants, school shoes, you feel me? High Street. Coming through High Street to find one of the best deals is what I used to do with more man coming up as a youth.
Right.
That and Shogunas. But we
What
on
kind of
High
shoes you used
Street.
to wear to school?
Probably like a Reebok or...
See how this man is lie? I remember the last time this man
As a
see you knocking
K-Swiss we had last time. I
You
had
can't get no
K-Swiss
K-Swiss
last
on High
time.
Street, boy.
You could get K-Swiss on High
Which store?
Back when Francis Fashion was in San Fernando, you could have get K-Swiss inside.
First of all, there's still Francis Fashion in San Fernando.
Really? I thought
that
they
is
moved.
to show how much you don't know San Fernando.
Mayor, is there a Francis Fashion in San Fernando?
It's still a fashion, Francis fashion.
And we here with the mayor who just correct me, there is a Francis Fashion there so you can get your school
Stop
shoes. You
drinking
feel me?
small-
But y'all ever hear Bata?
Bata?
Too young?
Nah, yeah, definitely too
Yeah.
young to know about that.
I know about wearing Bata. Yeah, Bata. Watch me if I can find a Bata dogs now. I in Barbados have Bata. That is what I used to wear to school. Bata.
Butter?
Yeah, it's a canvas shoe long time that we used to wear. Right? I was a
Oh,
sneakers.
the Alupai.
No, not a alupai. That Bata. That a lace. That was lace.
Last time I checked
I know
butter,
about cake butter and thing, but I know about butter
I know
now.
about
boy.
Bata. Bata.
butter.
Yeah, Bata.
That was before Flame and them thing.
Yeah, before Flame.
So that was the equivalent to our flame then.
No, Flame came after. Flame was a plastic shoe, but Bata was canvas. Yeah, I know about that.
Okay, so here's a question for you,
Yes, go ahead.
If a Trinidadian from South tell you, may I from South, but I never walk the streets of High Street in my life. Are they really from South? Could they really claim South properly?
No, they can't.
No, they
Thank
can't.
you.
Like Ron, he can't claim
I
so because
could
he never
claim-
walk High Street.
Well, we at the mayor, you can't say that I never walk High Street. I walk High Street.
You
already.
never walk High Street.
For argument's sake, I believe him. Go ahead.
You
You walk High Street. You walk High
With my
Street.
old man, my father would come and testify to that on the show.
The father will never testify.
He wouldn't come
The
on.
father don't like you. He will never
He
testify.
really doesn't. He really doesn't.
Guys.
Okay, so question for you.
Yeah.
Many people have built their livelihoods right on the street. how important would you say is High Street to the culture of San Fernando?
High Street is very, very important to the culture of San Fernando. You have two sets of persons that would have benefited off of the ambience of High Street. For the store owners who are very integral to the development and the growth of the city.
Right.
And then you would have had the vendors who, for a number of years, they've been grappling with the issue of vending on the streets of High Street. Now, vending is illegal, right? So that's the thing. So vending is illegal in all municipalities. It's illegal in Chaguanas. It's illegal in Sandy Grande, Arima. It's illegal. But in High Street, in our cityscape, it's illegal. So most of the times, most of the mayors in the past have had to deal with that issue, right? Have they been effective in doing it? Most of the times, they would try something to try to convince the vending population that it should not be there, right? Because one, it doesn't add to the safety of the pedestrians.
Right.
Two, they more or less occupy the footpath and
The sidewalk.
the footpath, the sidewalk, and they interfere with the operations of the stores. So a lot of these store owners have an issue with that. And then at one time there was a mayor who allowed vending, and the vendors abused it. He allowed a certain amount of cuts, and they went above that, and it created an unsightly ambience.
Right.
And when I became the mayor in 2023,
Right.
I walked into office and I had a litany of legal letters from the store owners stating that the vendors were allegedly being paying the San Fernando City Corporation to be on the streets. And therefore we had to move quickly.
Is this a legal action? No? Can you charge vendors to be
No.
on High Street?
No, I mean, let's be real. If something is illegal, it's illegal.
Right.
So you can't really make something illegal legal. So based on that allegation, we had to do our investigation, right? And we had to more or less, and I'm saying anyone who sits down on my chair has to deal with this issue. The only difference between myself and anyone else is that where we are standing right now,
Right.
this right here is what we designed for the vendors. We call it the fruit court. But the fruit court, it is anticipated that persons would pay the city corporation a legal $500,
Right.
become registered with the city,
Right.
and be able to fend without the police harassing them. So
That'd
I've
be nice.
read on social media where it is that persons feel that we would have moved the vendors off of High Street. And then I read a headline in the Trinidad Guardian where it is that they said that I banned vending for Christmas. How could you ban vending? First and foremost, you can't ban.
Because it's already illegal.
Right. And not that. You can't ban vending, right? That's the
Right.
first thing. So last year, we allowed the vendors, right? That is, I convinced the merchants that are the store owners already,
Right.
and to give the vendors the street for Christmas, right? Because we were constructing this area that we are standing at right now.
Right.
Right? So we have a leather craft and clothing area, and we also have an area for regular, normal vendors, right? Whatever you want to sell. So as we were constructing this area, right, the store owners said, go ahead, give them for the Christmas. And what I did say to the reporter is, we did them a favor last year. So it's obvious that this year they should do us a favor and go to the legal area to be able to apply their trade.
Right.
I think it is viable because it's very close to High Street, right? But you see, they will not end up in the problems that they currently end up with, because let's look at it from this perspective. The store owners have an overhead to run their business. They have staff, they have electricity, their deliveries, rent, all of these things that they have. And then you have someone outside that may be hampering in terms of your business being profitable. And this is something every single mayor of San Fernando has had to deal with. As a matter of fact, I believe in, who was it, boy? Well, there was a mayor who had proposed Chancery Lane, where long time it used to have the Drag Brothers Mall and different things there.
Right.
Now, there is the teaching hospital there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a proposal to move the vendors into a mall on Chancery Lane, right? Then there was another proposal by I think it was Mayor Ferguson to move them to Mokarapo Street. They resisted that. When I became the mayor, that same issue came up, and we would have built some huts. People call it dog kennel and all of these different things. But I mean, that's water off our back, right? I was trying to find a solution to a problem, right? And we put it by Mokarapo Street. They had a problem with it there. So obviously, the only place that we could have suitably put them based on a strategic plan by Mayor Hussein.
Right.
This area formerly used to have vendors, but it wasn't a designated area. It was unofficial.
Right.
And Mayor Hussein, I was one of his understudies. I did a lot of work behind the scenes for Mayor Hussein.
Right.
And that would have been from 2013 to 2016.
Right.
So this area was the designated area for vending. And if you look there, you see a building there that formerly was occupied by Nalis. That was supposed to be our eye in the sky building, where it is that the police
Right.
was supposed to be, right? So there would be some certain sophisticated police equipment there, and we reverted right back to that because let me tell you something. Can we say that anyone has really and truly tackled the issue of crime and criminality in this country in an effective way? And the answer is no. And therefore, based on what it is that we wanted to create, I reverted to that plan because I thought it was plausible, because I worked on the plan along with former Mayor Hussein, right? So we have dedicated that building for the municipal police and the police, right? So we'll have a police presence at the bottom of Harris Promenade and at the top of Harris Promenade. So
And here for the vendors.
and here for the vendors. So right here where the vendors are, the police will be right
Right
there,
there.
right? And also what we would have done is we would have hired special security
To check.
for the vendors within the confines of here.
Okay, so question for you. Given the amount of vendors that it does have on High Street,
Right.
do you think that it have enough space here to be able to cater for?
So first things first, right? So this is the beginning. Just at the beginning of the month, we did something with the Flambeau movement, which is a new NGO formed in San Fernando.
Right.
And they more or less occupied the second aspect of Harris Promenade, where it is that they put tents. And it was very effective. It wasn't even in front of the city hall,
Right.
where it is that the new bandstand is, where
Right.
it is that Namdefco used to have vendors market and different things like that. So along the high street, you would have seen that. But let me go further. So former member of parliament, Mr. Awari, would have ruled out a San Fernando plan, which would have included Harris Promenade,
Right.
Which would have included legal vending, right? So the issue of persons vending on High Street, it's really a rivalry that, no one wants to touch. It becomes a issue of rich and poor, have and have not. And let me tell you something. I don't believe in creating conflicts like that within Trinidad and Tobago. I sought a solution. We invested money, and we created an area. In my opinion, imagine tourists coming in here and persons buying certain things and different things like that. So this is the option that we have chose, and I think it's the better option than fighting with the police.
Yes, that is true.
I mean, I would never fight with the police,
No.
right? For many reasons.
It's a losing battle. They have
Especially
a
being a
chance.
Rastaman in the community. I'm a usual suspect, and I want to be a law-abiding Rastaman and walk the streets calmly.
I agree.
Don't fight with the police.
Please don't fight the police.
Right. So we here on the promenade with the mayor. Remember, it is
Ron, we're
city-
not on the promenade, we're on the train. We buy the train.
we buy the train.
Last train.
We last train to come into San Fernando. We with the mayor of San Fernando. And remember to come to check out all the events that are going on for City Month and support San Fernando on the whole. We on to the next location. Me, Rebel Rango, and the mayor. Now, we at the final location, Rango. We had to get PG in. They come, we sit down. The mayor was here. He was outside with us too. Now we here. Now we in front. Now, this is the part where your pitch for the sponsorship. Quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to get $3 million to start up a project for the betterment of myself, of course.
Right.
I was hoping that maybe, the government well, I feel like 3 million is actually not enough. Sorry, 5 million
Right,
for the
5.
betterment of
Right.
us, the podcast, what we trying to do to the community.
Right.
And hopefully, you could assist us in,
What I can do is hopefully from being on the podcast and we share it with some of the San Fernando business community, maybe we could invigorate some of the San Fernando business community to sponsor your show. Right? What y'all think about that?
Yeah, man, that sounds
I
good.
find that sound like
sound
a
good.
Yeah, so what y'all could do is do a proposal, right? But a lot of persons will see the podcast. And I've tuned into your podcast too, right? But I guess hopefully that we have more reach, right? In the podcast, right? The door is creaking. The door is creaking. Go ahead.
Okay, so as a youth coming up,
Yeah.
right? You would have passed this building several times.
Oh, I grew up in this building actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my father was a councillor before me, and he used to send some of the messengers to get me from school. And what I used to do is I used to sit. The mayor's office was upstairs then, and every time it was time for my dad to talk, I would crack the door open and I'd listen to him talk. And back then, Dad, there was something called the Queen's English. So instead of saying definitely, Dad used to say definitely. And I was like, what is that, right? But I just used to look at him talk. And then when I would get home, I would put on his shoes, I'd put on his jacket and his tie, and I'd stand up in the mirror and say, definitely, definitely. And I got the opportunity when I became the mayor of San Fernando to tell my father, definitely your son is the mayor of the city of San Fernando.
Yeah,
So life, full circle. Yeah.
How was it like telling your father that?
Man, it was hard. I was holding back a lot of tears because, he has been so instrumental and influential in my entire life. I mean, every aspect of my development. I would say that my father, I can't even be a quarter of the man that he is. So hopefully I hope I have made him proud.
Okay, did you all ever get to talk about the fact that have his position?
Well, he always starts to cry.
Really?
Yeah, he always starts to cry about it. So I guess I've done my job in making him proud. I used to beg God to to preserve his life, so that if ever I get the opportunity, he would see that I at first I wanted to be as good as him, and then obviously naturally you'll want to be better than him. And when I realized that more people were getting to know me, we were in my car driving, and it was like, Mr. Parris, and he was like, okay. I was like, no, Daddy, they're talking to me, right? And his eyes opened up, right? And obviously when that occurred, there was only one other thing that would have eluded me. I worked so hard in the last 15 years representing Pleasantville, and worked on optimum level in terms of deliveries in my community, right? And the fact that they thought it best to make me the mayor at this time is something that I'm truly humbled by. It's been a dream of mine, and so far my only dream in politics was to become the mayor, and I don't know where in life this experience would lead me. Certainly, I do have a private life that I could easily fall back into, but my passion is service for people. So, who knows where God would lead me?
Okay.
Oh, why are you watching me now?
Oh, okay, right.
You want to be a mayor?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I don't think I cut out for politics.
Watch my, I'm telling you, the woman whoever you is with had to real.
Well, you're honest, man.
You feel
like
like
to
that-
go around multiple women. So he definitely would not have a problem in them areas.
Rebel, we in the mayor office, you can't see.
Multiple women. I'll talk to you about that later. Not on camera. That's a joke. That's a joke. That is a joke.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you feel now, as your father inspired you, do you feel now the draw to inspire or be the inspiration for the younger generation coming up watching you now in this position, being mayor, looking up to you, and the way in which you make your decisions, do you feel the need to set an example to that younger generation coming up, like your father did you?
Certainly. That goes without a doubt. I think that the young people in Trinidad and Tobago, they're looking for someone to look up to. They're looking for someone maybe in the political realm to look up to. Someone that they could say, well, you know something, that person stood for something and they didn't accept everything that was given to them. As I stated before, asking why, as simple as asking why. It doesn't make you a troublemaker, it makes you an intelligent person to ask why. So in the world, as we see geopolitically, we have a lot of turmoil. Trinidad and Tobago has always exuded that type of brilliance when it comes to leadership. And I think that, not that I aspire to be better than anyone at this point, but should I be given the opportunity to further my political career, it's just something naturally that I would have to push myself to continue to be someone that inspires young people. My passion is talking to young people. A lot of young people grew up around me, and I've been influential in a lot of young people's lives. As a matter of fact, I used to cut their hair to go to school, right? Yes, I am a barber, right? So I used to cut their hair to go to school, and now they are grown people who's on radio, who's on TV, who's who's bank managers, who are doing amazing things with their life, and I'm so proud of them, right? Who are teachers, so they're doing a lot of good things and leaders in their own right. And I remember always telling them that you don't need to be a politician to be a leader. Just do the best at what you could do. And I always say, right, as my dad used to say to me, two things. He used to say, leaders lead, and he used to say, you make position don't make you. Mr. Manning is the person who told me that when I was a little boy. You make position. You make a position don't make you. Right? So in other words, I am Robert Parris. I will be Robert Parris. I'm Robert Parris now, I'll be Robert Parris after. But Robert Parris would have exuded a certain level of discipline, a certain level of passion, a certain level of I don't know the other word to describe it, but I would have put my own brand into my style of leadership. I didn't really try to be like anyone else. People might see similarities to my idols. I mean, Mr. Manning, Patrick Manning was my godfather. I grew up around John Commission, who's another political elite, who as well was my godfather and then my father. So I might have taken something out of those three gentlemen. And when people see me do certain things, they say, you remind me of Patrick, or you remind me of... But it's not that I'm trying to be like them. Just remember, a lot of who I am, they put into me. And that is the reason why I choose a lot of, politics nowadays is rah, 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 rah. I would choose more a diplomatic way of doing things. Not that I can't be rah, rah, but I don't have the energy. I'm 47 years old now. I don't have that energy that some of these young politicians have to be insulting and standing up this and the other. Me personally, if I was in Parliament, I say, Mr. Speaker, I beg for your protection, please, and sit down, which is the correct thing to do.
Right.
As opposed to answering back and
really?
Yeah.
So why people don't use that more often?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But remember, they have TV cameras now in Parliament. So the correct thing to do is based on the standing order. If you have a certain time to speak, so if someone is interrupting you, you can simply say, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm on my feet, and I beg for your protection from the member of whatever, and you can sit down. And the speaker he has obligated to stand and say, you have my protection, continue, right? I would, personally speaking, with the Bacchanal in Parliament, most of my presentation, if I'm being interrupted, I would ask the speaker's protection, because the speaker now is accused of being biased. Now, if he's biased, that's not up to me to decide. That's up to the viewing audience to decide. But I would put it on him to protect me, right? Because that's his job as the presiding officer.
You can't take sides, so you have to protect me if I
have to protect.
We should.
And I learned that from Mr. Manning. Mr. Manning was a very eloquent speaker, right? And when he stood up in Parliament, his tone was always one way. He never raised his voice. He got over his point or whatever. And if it is that he was being interrupted, Mr. Speaker, sir, I ask for your protection.
And sit down.
That's it.
I think I need a Mr. Speaker in my life. I need some protection now.
Yeah.
You know?
But Mr. Speaker don't protect you from all them girls, you know.
No, I was talking about that.
Exactly.
I was talking about that now.
Exactly.
I just don't want, like, protection on the go.
No, but that makes sense because sometimes you just hear you hear Parliament and it does sound like a rum shop and it just be like
It is really sound like a rum shop.
It just sound like a rum
Not soon
shop.
off though, but it's really sound like a rum shop for real.
I mean, us as leaders, we ought to remember that the younger generation is looking at us. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, and sometimes I get very frustrated working with a public sector which is very indoctrinated in a poor work habit. And sometimes I would get very upset when I'm leading the council. I wouldn't curse or say something bad, but every now and then something would slip, not a 4-letter word, right? But something to remind them that why we are here is really to do the work of the people, right? Everyone wants to come to work and do a job and get paid, but don't want to work, right? And that is one of the major issues that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. You want to get paid, but you don't want to do the work. And that's something I want to see Generation Next really, really work on, the productivity of us as a people, right? Dr. Eric Williams gave us discipline, tolerance, and production. And we as a people have moved so far away from those 3 watchwords, right? It's bacchanal, mayhem, and maybe crime. Or if you want to throw in murder, you understand?
Right.
Those bad things now have become so predominant, and young people are seeing this and they're becoming immune to it, right? I am seeing that we need to exude better behavior and remember that leaders lead, right? We make unpopular decisions, but as part of the course of leadership, making unpopular decisions, but standing by what it is you're doing, because one, that's your moral persuasion, and you're standing by what it is you want for the betterment of our country. Yeah.
So one question I wanted to ask, even though I know this may not necessarily be your area to say, but when they close down CPEP, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the solution to employing these people now?
So in my community, what I did, right, after speaking to the Honorable Minister of Local Government, she told us in a meeting in Tagarigua, you all need to absorb some of the fallout from CPEP and URP or whatever. I don't think no one paid attention. So I, more or less in San Fernando, have the ability to hire former CPEP contractor, some former CPEP workers, right? So I've been doing that rather for the past however long CPEP closed down. As soon as it closed down, I started to hire them. And these are people who I have relationships with based on my community. I know their family. I know they're good people. I don't like when it is that people talk about or that CPEP is grass cutters and they just paint in stones. These are people who have a family just like everybody else, want to be able to take care of their family moreover, and they deserve a right to earn a living. So we've hired persons from the Pleasantville area. We've hired persons from the Ramsaran Street area. I know some of the councillors individually, they would hire some of their CPEP people in their communities, and we are able to provide sustainable employment, short-term employment for them. And they've been doing an excellent job. As a matter of fact, the demand is so great that our CPEP workers from Pleasantville have been asked to clean Suma Gardens. They've cleaned on the wharf. They've cleaned on the promenade. They've cleaned this very compound, City Hall. They actually called them back to cut the CPEP headquarters. Would you believe that? The CPEP headquarters in St. Martin. That they closed down. Right? And it is because, again, my ability to think outside of the box. When I started to do it, one of the newspapers carried it and said, oh, he only cleaned up Pleasantville because Penny Beckles was coming. And that wasn't true, because we had been doing it for a month before. And everyone was looking at my socials and was like, what is the mayor really doing? But God told me to do it. It's the right thing to do, right? And I tell people all the time, once I have a conversation with one person who's the Almighty, it's very hard to convince me to do otherwise. And it has been working out, so much so that my counterpart in Port of Spain actually is doing the same thing in Port of Spain, right? So for me, I think that anyone who has that ability to absorb them should. I actually made a suggestion to the Honorable Minister that whenever and however they absorb the CPAP workers, I believe it should be in local government, and I believe that the councillors should be able to manage our workforce, right? And so you would have a CPAP crew attached to every electoral district. So if it is you have grass to cut in your area, they report to the councillors. The councillor could say, okay, I need you to clean that drain or whatever. And that works in tandem with the corporation workers, because traditionally the culture of CPAP is they have a better culture, unfortunately, than the city corporation workers or the borough corporation or the regional corporation workers. They work longer hours and they got less pay, but they work very hard. And this is no insult.
Really?
Yeah, this is no insult to anyone who's employed with the different corporations. It's just a culture that has been ingrained for many years, right? So I say thank you, Uncle Patrick, for having the vision to create CPAP. Unfortunately, CPAP no longer is with us, and whatever solution that this government has in place for CPAP, I hope it encompasses the councillor's ability to manage human resources, because human resource management is one of the major things, one of the major components in being able to effectively run your community.
So, we here, we in City Hall, we with the mayor, Rebel, we finally touched down, we in the office that you've been prepping me with questions.
Yeah, I think that I probably have a future in politics after having this.
I think you do.
This conversation with the mayor. Yeah, I think that I should run for Prime Minister.
What?
Understand? And I think I'm gonna start a campaign.
You can't advance enough, eh?
Oh yes, I think I would have banned that first. For men though, just for men, you know. Yeah. Or if you identify as a Smirnoff
He does
drinker,
drink Caribbean.
you drink Caribbean too. I believe you drink Caribbean.
Mayor, you can't start him like that.
So
Then
I'll
you will
have a
go-
registry.
you will
All
go.
Smirnoff drinkers must come and sign that registry now. You understand? Yeah, but guys, City Mud is definitely a place to be at, right? Also the City Band is the band to be in for coming Juve. The 22nd of November, Rebel Nation is a part of it. 99.1 is on board. Rise Juve is on board as well. Caesar's Army is there, and the City Corporation. Get in your section. It's all about the City Band, 22nd of November. Sign up today.
Yep, definitely check out the calendar so you can see all the other upcoming events that are for City Month as well. We have pan and powder. And then we have
the Sando Run 5K, which is on the 16th. We also, for the first time, we're having our interfaith service outside of the Christian faith. We're having it in a Mandir, right? On Todd Street. So the Krishna Mandir, and we really look forward to that. Show that level of diversity. And I always say, give a place to the Douglas. So, you know.
yeah, man. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we also have the mayor's second annual charity golf tournament, which brings a lot of money to the city.
Yeah.
I played 10 holes of golf. I really supposed to play 20, but my son get tired. And you know, I was playing professionals. I played golf once in my life, and you know, I was ahead. I was ahead in the game.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
But I mean, that's because I wasn't there, you know. If I was
you're
there,
a golfer.
not really.
Rango
But
never swing a club yet.
Yeah, but I took up the sport and I really actually liked it. But I went to the priest yesterday, and he told me, he said, Robert, you're working so hard, and I know your heart is in the right place. You need to take some time for yourself. You don't have to impress anyone, and you don't have to work so hard, because God knows your heart and you're doing the right thing. So take some time. So when I take time, I feel I'm going to play some golf.
I feel I was joining on that golf.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
you're
fun.
joining.
It's
Point
real
up and
fun.
have a nice golf club.
It's fun. It's real fun. So we have that. And we also have the King of Bois stick fighting on the 28th, which will be very interesting. It's a first time event for us. But we have Mr. Keegan Taylor on board with us. And Keegan is a South boy. Presentation College, renowned for the Bois, right? It's promotion of the Bois. We have the Ian Atley cycling meet on the 30th, right? Cycling, yeah. And yeah, so those are some of the things that we're having. So another event is the Premier Sports Club Football, which is one of the young football clubs that we have in Skinner Park. They're having a big tournament, right? With over 200 participants in that. And Sun City Steel Symphony, which is our band, the city's band, is having culture on Carib Street, 12 hours of culture, which will be on our Carib Street complex, and we invite the entire public to come out to that. Will really be something that, we will enjoy. For those persons who would have always looked out and anticipated for Paneniville, this year we took a little break for City Month, but that doesn't mean that Paneniville is not happening. Again, we just took a little break for City Month, and we will reorganize, re-engineer, and have a bigger and better Paneniville coming up.
I did see they had like a whole lot of stuff going on in Pleasantville, but recently by the ad. So, and one more thing, don't forget, you had to plug the live show. Don't forget, December the 14th, we have the South Central live show going on.
And the mayors are specially invited guests. He will be in the front, in the VIP section.
Why not?
Yeah, and exactly. Hey, we're gonna have the mayor.
December the 14th, the live show.
Why not?
So, y'all, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been your host, your co-host, Ron, the podcast done. Rebel Rango, we here with the mayor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity. And thank you to your viewers. Yes.
Thank you
Thanks for being a guest. Thanks for being a guest. It was really hard to get a politician here. This is you are our first politician on this podcast.
Exactly.
I guess you could get some other politicians on it. Yes.
Wouldn't be the last.
I
agree.
hope not. Yes.
Right? So y'all make sure to like, subscribe, hit follow us on IG, TikTok, and all the socials, as well as follow the City Corporation page.
Yes.
And tune in. We can't wait to see you on the next one.
And if you're a politician watching this, I would like a HEC house.
And sponsorship.